Chapter 3 New Beginnings. After all of that fiasco, Elias, Lunara and Alara all gathered around at the clearing. "You're hurt, girl," said Elias. "If you push yourself, you won't get any better." Lunara looked at Elias and did a low growl of acknowledgement. Hearing how much Elias cared for Lunara, Alara spoke. "You know I can help you too, help us?" questioned Elias. "Yes," said Alara. "I can help you get stronger together if you guys put in the time and effort. I can help you to be the guardians that I know you can be." Elias looked at Lunara and asked, "What do you think, girl?" Lunara looked at Elias and then back at Alara. Lunara proceeded to lift her head up above the two of them. Lunara then gave a roar filled with determination. "Well, all right, glad to hear it, Lunara. And what do you think of this, Elias? It's clear that you don't lack the determination," said Alara. Elias looked at Lunara then back at Alara, then took a slow look at everything around them, taking in everything around them. Seeing the ground, the dirt, the leaves, the green trees, and the grass that lay below them, the birds, and the animals that infested the whispering pines. A moment hesitation that was in Elias' mind went, knowing that without him the wonder, the mysteries or the pines would perish. He knows that with time he can protect the pines and the creatures that lived in it. A while after the question, Elias looked up to meet Alara's gaze. "Yes," answered Elias, "I will do everything in my power to help the pines live and grow." After the exchange of confirmation, Elias looked up in horror. "What is it?" "Are you okay, Elias?" asked Alara. "No," answers Elias. No, my parents, they'll be worried. I've been gone all night, I have to get home." With that said, Elias started to make his way in the direction of the village, Lunara following closely. "No, girl, you can come with me. If they see a dragon in the town, they'll freak out and try to hurt you," said Elias. Lunar, hearing this, agreed with a low growl. She proceeded to go back into the pines with Alara. "It's okay, Lunara," said Alara, "he will be back later tonight." Elias walked back to the town. After what felt like hours of walking, he found himself at the front gate right when the sun started to set on the hill. Elias walked through the gate and started to make his way to his home. After a few minutes of walking, he was at the door. He knocked on the door once, then twice, then 3 times, right before he going to knock a 4th. The door flew open and there stood a man in a white tank top wearing khaki shorts with stain all over. The smell of weed and alcohol were filled in the air. "Where were you, you little shit?" yelled the man. He proceeded to grab Elias and threw him into the house. The house was filled with ashtrays and the tables and counters were filled with dishes and other assorted items. "Crying now, where's mom?" cried Elias. "Never mind that, you little brat, go to your room," yelled the man. This was Elias' father Tarek. Later that day, when the sun went down, Elias felt hunger and decided to go downstairs to find food. When Elias stepped down from the stairs, he could hear Tarek in the living room. Elias peeked down from the gap in the stairs. Looking down, he saw his father in the chair, passed out drunk. After a while of hesitation, Elias went down, making sure to walk past him slowly, making sure to not wake him, for the punishment of being out of his room would be too great. 5 grueling minutes, Elias made it to the kitchen and started looking for food. Elias found some bread, though it was cold and not good, but it was food and he wasn't going to complain. After he retrieved the food, Elias went back to his room, making sure not to wake his father. Later that night in his room, Elias heard a knock at the window. After a bit, Elias went over to the window and opened it up. There stood in the anyway Alara and Lunara. "What are you two doing here? If he sees me talking to you or Lunara, your guys are as good as dead," whispered Elias. "We came to check on you. Lunara been worried sick and looks like she has a good reason," said Alara. Lunara looked up at Elias with a worried expression. "I am fine, girl. He's just loud, but you two really need to leave. Go back to the pines and I'll see you there tomorrow," said Elias. With regret Alara and Lunara went away and back to the pines. Later in the night Elias was in his room looking out at the window and at he pines, recounting the events that have happened that morning and that day previous. When Elias was looking out of the window he heard someone making their way to his room. Elias being scared of his father he went and hid under his bed, heart racing at the thought of it being his father. The door swung open. There in the doorway stood a beautiful woman, long dark brown hair and freckles on her face. Elias went out from the bed and approached the lady. "Mother," asked Elias, "are you back from work?" The woman did not answer, just stood and looked at him and reached out to touch Eli's face. "Yes, my son, I am back from work," said the woman. After looking at her face Elias saw that she had a black eye and was hurt. "You're hurt, mother? Did he do this to you?" asked Elias. "Mother, we can leave, we can get out of here. I have friends that can help in the pines. We just need to make it there." His mother responded, "No, my son, if he sees that we are missing, no place will be safe for us in the villages. We just need to wait it out." Then after the exchange there was a loud boom from downstairs. "Laura," yelled Tarek, "you got home and you didn't come see me first," yelled Tarek from down the stairs. "Someone ought to teach you a lesson." Tarek came running up the stairs towards Elias' room. Elias' mother turned to face the door and locked it to prevent him from getting in. "Quick, Elias, go under the bed," yelled his mother. Elias ran under the bed and started to cry under his breath. Tarek got to the door and started banging on it, trying to get in. "Let me in, bitch. Don't make me bust down this door," yelled Tarek from outside of the room. Tarek then started to bang on the door, trying to bust it down. First bang, second one, and then the third. The door came down with a loud thud, hitting the floor hard. Laura was standing in the room between the bed and the door. "Where were you, bitch?" yelled Tarek. "Were you off cheating? I gave you and that little shit a place to stay and put food on the table, and this is how you repay me." "I wasn't, I swear," cried Laura. "I was just at work, I swear I wasn't cheating, Tarek." "I don't believe you, you're just a ungrateful whore that need to learn some manners," yelled Tarek. He proceeded to pick up a bat from the hallway and walked back into the room. Elias was under the bed and crying, wanted all of this to end. He wanted his mom to stop trying to protect him. He needed Lunara. Tarek looked at Laura and yelled, "Still protecting that little shit? Well, protect him from this." Tarek lifted up the bat and brought it down on Laura's head. Blood went all over the floor and walls. Laura's body hit the floor and went limp. Must have hit too hard. Oh well, bitch shouldn't have made me angry. Boy, come here, out from the bed, come to your father." Elias crawled out from under the bed and went over to his mother's body. "What did you see, boy?" asked Tarek, holding the bat way above Elias' head. "Nothing, sir," answered Elias. "Good, at least you're good for something." "Now clean this up," commanded Tarek.